What's up, guys? We're live. It's pretty bird just gonna scroll the internet, see what see what we can find. Just watching Tate right now. His case got thrown out, which I mean we all knew was gonna happen. And I guess Piers Morgan, he really gets pisses me off.
Or any of these
Such a
things.
wanker.
To me, the fair and proper way is called due process. And my only concern with you is, have you been afforded due process? What is interesting to me is the length of time this is all taking. That doesn't seem to me to be normal. You do hear stories like it, but it seems to me out of the norm. And it's certainly significant today that the criminal prosecution against you by one of these two British police can stab even a civil case there. That is clearly not an irrelevant fact as you and I debate.
Honestly, I keep seeing stuff about this Charlie Kirk, and I was just thinking, that whole situation, all that happened, that it's just so heartbreaking and disgusting. It's really sad. I really feel bad about the whole situation, and it's messed up. Now you got Fox News coming out and saying, there's a mountain of evidence against the suspected killer, Tyler Robinson. And, I did a video on all the new different video angles coming in and showing how weird this is getting. Some are saying a mic bomb, some are saying different theories, but we'll see what Fox News has to say. I haven't even seen the video yet, but we'll see what they got to say first. Let's see it.
Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin will appear for a virtual court hearing where his legal team will decide if they want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing and speed up the proceedings. Tyler Robinson faces multiple state charges, including aggravated murder, and state prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett joins us now.
It's crazy, too, because the state that he did it in, I'm not sure what state it was, but they have the death penalty by firing squad, which is crazy. They stand him up against the wall and literally light him up.
Greg, thanks so much for joining the program this morning.
Sure. I mean, it's really disturbing to even talk about putting someone to death, but by firing squad, that just seems, that's crazy. That's crazy to me that's a thing. When you think about someone who's on death row and putting them to death, you think of them sitting in a chair, like take them to the electrical chair and, or inject them with poison. It's very disturbing to talk about. I don't even like talking about it because it's so weird, but by firing squad is just, it's crazy.
Lawrence, good to be with you. I think given the intensity of the public passion surrounding the cold-blooded assassination of a beloved figure, I think the concern right now today is safety and security. It's unwise to run the risk of an open courtroom appearance when it's not really necessary for a fairly routine court appearance known as a status and waiver hearing, as you point out. So they're going to have the accused on videotape from jail instead of in the courtroom. The judge will talk with counsel about the track of the case, sharing evidence, whether the defendant will waive his right to a preliminary hearing. But you don't really need Robinson there in court. Plus, you avoid the negative optics, the accused in shackles that might create undue bias in the minds of potential jurors if seen in photographs and videotape. So you're not going to see him there literally in court today, only by videotape. And there are good reasons for that.
So let's talk about this appearance and the mountain of evidence. So he's been appointed a public defender.
So
this public defender is very skilled, has a lot of experience. But then I look at the mountain of evidence against him. So there's a note where he talks about, I had the opportunity to take.
I want to see, I'm going to search up here real quick. I want to see the exact moment, like what he did. I know I've seen the footage of him hopping down the building. I didn't see a gun in his hand or anything like that, but let's see what evidence they have on him first.
Take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. There's DNA matches on the rifle and the trigger, spinning unused cartridges casings. And then there's the towel rifle that was wrapped in. Then you got the family interviews, details his shift from left-leaning to pro-gay and transgender beliefs. So you got motive, you got evidence to support it, and that doesn't even include the text messages.
This is what happens.
We went over that
all day, and you don't go out, and you don't have a life, and you don't do anything, and you just take all this garbage and you start to believe it. And I'm sure this happens across all of America with kids just like that. You know, they see all this information put out by, whether it's the legacy media or different media, different news sites and websites and stations, and they see all this stuff like transgender and neo-Nazis and all types of shit like that. Like, and you know, if you watch that all day, they probably believe it, and it's disturbing, man. It's really disturbing. You know, I would say the legacy media and the mainstream media is a huge, huge problem in this country. It really is. You know, the fact that people can't see right through it. I mean, I've been seeing right through it since I was a kid. You know, I take it with a grain of salt and see. You get an idea of what they're trying to, you know, say and what they're trying to get across and what narrative they're trying to push. But you really gotta just do your own research and, you know, I want to see him escape. I want to see the footage that shows him literally. Okay, here it is.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words.
I really want to get on here to do a podcast. Okay, this is it. Now you could see him running across the top of the building. Feels like a fold-up rifle, or what was going on with that? But you know what's crazy? I was just about to say, like, I forgot how they got him, and his own dad turned him in, which is wild. I mean, we saw the video, the kid that went to high school with him and was talking about him, and you know, it's crazy to think, man. There's really some messed up people out there. Oh, I didn't see this because he spread too much hate. Honestly, I would love to sit in a room with this kid and just have him explain what part of the message did you see that was hatred coming out of Charlie Kirk's mouth? Because I've never seen him spread hatred. I've seen him spread his own views. That's about it.
22-year-old Tyler Robinson appearing in court for the first time Tuesday after Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray outlined his case against the suspect, linking him to that single fatal shot, the 31-year-old husband and father of two.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Prosecutors say the suspect's DNA was found on the rifle's trigger and laid out the evidence they say tied him to the crime, sharing these photos that reached millions of people, including the suspect's mother.
Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son.
Prosecutors say the suspect's father then got Robinson on the phone.
Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate.
It just pisses me off.
Authorities say his parents detailed a shift in their son.
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders.
The prosecutor says the roommate then handed over incriminating messages from the suspect.
The roommate received.
Wow, that's so weird. I want to see a breakdown of what breaking news. I know. Hold on. There's this.
Also,
there's this AI that breaks it down that like does like the last couple hours of him.
Who's the driver? You the driver?
yeah.
Aaron is an.
I forget what it's called though. Fuck.
The man accused of murder.
With the arrest of Tyler James Robinson.
I do want to get back to the.
I'm trying to think of what this AI site is called. It might be AI Telly actually. Here we go. Yes, this is it.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past.
This is
We tried
it.
other work management platforms, not naming names. They all suck. Monday, total opposite. Didn't just work, it spread.
How did this ordinary guy become the world's deadliest assassin? How did he manage to escape?
Now, remember, I fully don't believe, I'm not fully convinced that this guy actually took the shot and actually is the real killer. There's, like I did in the last video, if you watched it, there is lots of theories out there that are saying different things, and you know, everything from a microphone to some guy in the crowd, a bunch of different handoffs going on with this team. So I'm not fully convinced, but I do want to see what this timeline.
How was he ultimately turned in by a close family friend in original 3D animations made from scratch?
See, I didn't see the gun in his hand when he hopped down off the thing.
This is an exact mapping of everything that happened, simplified for better understanding. Here is Lake Utah, and just beyond it lies the West Campus.
Oh, it was in Utah.
This is the Utah Valley campus. Charlie Kirk was shot in this area. To get the full picture, we need to look at how the suspect entered the building and how he escaped the scene. The suspect entered the building around 11:52 a.m. local time, moving through stairwells and across the roof to reach his sniper position. Surveillance footage confirmed his entry onto campus and his deliberate, unobstructed route inside the building. There is no public evidence or description suggesting he used a ladder to access the roof. Reports indicate he used interior stairwells and walkways instead of external ladders. The shooter was positioned less than 150 yards from Kirk, a distance well within the capability of a basic marksman. At around 12:22 to 12:23 p.m., the assassination occurred suddenly, when a sharp gunshot rang out across the university courtyard. While speaking to the crowd, Charlie Kirk was struck in the neck. Blood quickly appeared as he instinctively clutched his wound and collapsed from his chair. Investigations confirmed the bullet was fired from roughly 200 yards away. Given the elevation of the shooter's position, he had a clear and unobstructed line of sight to the stage where Kirk was addressing the audience. The bullet's trajectory descended steeply and precisely through open space to strike Kirk in the neck, strongly indicating the use of a scoped firearm designed for long-range accuracy. After the shot, the shooter moved carefully from the sniper position to the edge of the building. There was incorrect information that he descended by ladder, but in reality, he dropped down from the ledge. In doing so, he left behind palm and shoe prints, which were crucial for forensic analysis. Though some describe it as a significant vertical descent due to the sloped embankment, he used his hands to grip the ledge and lowered himself as far as possible before dropping to the ground. The bullet.
I really want to see the footage of him jumping off that building again, because, you know, I really didn't see him. See, look at the comments. Wow. I think there's a lot of people that think like this. You know, after 2 minutes in the video, I'm now questioning everything I've watched before. This sounds like fiction. He never jumped with a gun. The real video of him shows him without the gun. See, this is what I'm talking about. Let's just keep
Bolt action rifle, identified as an older Mauser model, was still with him.
You
As
gotta
he
remember that they tried killing Trump. They tried killing Nick Fuentes. They just killed Charlie Kirk. I mean,
made his descent.
No.
Observers noted that he appeared practiced and did not discard the weapon at this stage, likely holding it in one hand or slinging it as he moved. After landing, he briefly limped, possibly from the impact, but quickly regained his composure and fled on foot into a wooded area adjacent to the university. Notably, palm prints and shoe prints left at the landing spot were documented by forensic investigators and proved vital to the case. He walked all the way to this location, blending seamlessly into the crowd. The suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting had a brief encounter with an excavator operator near a construction site behind Utah Valley University's Losey building. According to construction workers present shortly after the shooting, the suspect approached the construction area and asked the excavator operator if he could pass through. The operator informed him that pedestrians were not allowed on the site and stopped him there. The suspect reportedly responded calmly, saying he was trying to get home safely following the incident. This interaction took place before police and emergency responders arrived at the scene. The construction site, located near the wooded area where the sniper rifle was later recovered, was part of the suspect's escape route after he jumped off the rooftop and fled from the campus. Within the next few seconds, he ran across a grassy section and headed into the nearby wooded area, rifle still in hand, until he was beyond the immediate campus property. The rifle was ultimately found wrapped in a towel in the woods along the suspect's escape path, indicating he discarded it shortly after leaving campus grounds.
Tired of feeling priced out of real estate? Lennar delivers quality new homes in the Chicago area at a price you can actually afford.
But how was he caught? It all came down to digital forensics teams analyzing thousands of security camera frames, matching Tyler Robinson's appearance, vehicle, and movements both on campus and off-site. He also left behind many digital footprints. When law enforcement released campus surveillance footage and still images of the suspect, his clothing, and the escaped vehicle to the public. This led to over 7,000 tips flooding hotlines and social media platforms. Additionally, messages between Robinson and his roommate recovered through the messaging app revealed plans about disposing.
You know, Twitter just turns into its own like huge investigation with everyone trying to put the clues together and everyone trying to put the pieces together, and you know, it's pretty incredible how that works, because right after it happened, I went on Twitter and I saw everyone like, wow, Charlie Kirk got shot, Charlie Kirk got shot, Charlie Kirk's dead, Charlie Kirk's dead. And then just seeing, you know, everyone got in investigative mode and just try to, you know, figure out who the hell did this.
Of the weapon, its location, and unique engravings on the bullet. One casing read, "Hey fascist, catch." a clear, direct political message targeting Kirk's conservative stance. But the key reason he was caught was because his own father made the difficult decision to sacrifice his own son and turn him into the police. It was released that Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspected shooter of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, was captured after an intense manhunt lasting about 33 hours following the shooting at Utah Valley University. The critical breakthrough came when Tyler Robinson's father, Matt Robinson, recognized his son in the photographs released by the FBI. Matt immediately reached out to Tyler and urged him to surrender peacefully. At first, Tyler refused and even threatened to harm himself rather than go to the authorities. Seeing this, Matt contacted a family friend, a youth pastor who also serves as a U.S. Marshals officer. With their support, Matt was able to convince Tyler to stay put and cooperate with law enforcement.
What?
Now let's go to the arrest details. On the afternoon of September 11, 2025, authorities orchestrated Robinson's peaceful surrender at a residence in Washington County, Utah, roughly 33 hours after the shooting. Robinson offered no resistance during his arrest. On September 12, 2025, Robinson was booked into Utah County Jail charged with aggravated murder, felony use of a firearm, and obstruction of justice. But hats off to father, where even law enforcement officials and public leaders publicly credited the family's intervention for enabling an orderly, nonviolent arrest. To better understand this assassination, it's important to note that a similar pattern was followed where the assassin also imported his own rifle and rented a post office box. On March 13, Klein's Sporting Goods of Chicago received a mail order for a World War II surplus Italian 1891 Carcano, and the model is a 1938 rifle. The order totaled $21.45, $19.95 for the rifle, plus $1.50 for postage and handling, and was placed by someone using the alias A. Hidell. And the rifle, which came equipped with a 4x scope and bore the serial number C2766, and was known for its effective range of around 500 meters with accurate shooting capabilities up to 800 meters, depending on the specific model and shooter proficiency.
I want to see
It
how
holds
big the
6
bullets
rounds
are.
in its internal magazine, loaded using a 6-round end block clip.
Now you're gonna tell me
Before
if that's the bullet right there, if that's the size of the bullet, how did it not have a way more explosive impact on his neck? That's what I'm
internal
A
magazine,
lot of people are trying to question that too.
loaded using a 6-round end block clip. Before the shooting, at 7:23 in the morning, Oswald arrives at the depository with Buell Wesley Freight. At 8:40 a.m., with the weather clearing, secret way of staying exposed, riding without a co-work begins its journey of Field Plaza. Came to the Warren Commission, reprising the street where his the first shot reportedly ricocheted.
But you know, I'm gonna close up, but remember, question everything. Let's hope the truth comes out, because I'm not fully convinced yet. Name dropper.